can see many people, they say, no, the government will take care about everything. I think the government can't take care about everything without us as a citizen, our contribution. What are our contribution? Today, all the countries say, people, please stay home. Why? Because you are going to solve life. So many people, they complain, why I'm stay home, I'm boring, I'm boring. No, there is many things, many benefits that you can get. Before, when you work, I hear many people here, I know some of them are here right now. If they talk, we can come back to learning English. Teacher, please, I want you to help me, but I don't have time. Okay. Why? What are you doing? You know, I wake up early, I go to work. When I come back, I go to the restaurant to share or something to eat. When I come back, I go to visit my family. So now this virus creates time for you. What you should do with this time? This time is for your own benefit, to benefit yourself. You know,
I
now
agree.
we yeah, earlier we have a Zoom with teacher John. You know, we spent 40 minutes after teacher John. I can go live. We have 1 hour now. Teacher Toto. After teacher Toto, there's another one. So this is your benefits. You get a benefit for yourself. So believe me, now we are not, believe me, you know, since when I wake up around 9 until now, I'm speaking English. So look what I get. So before, when I wake up, I come to my work, I can maybe all day I can speak in one word in English because I don't have time. I don't have somebody to speak with him. So this is what I can add in that. I think this is a great benefit for us to use this time for your benefit, not to stay at home. No, oh, watching TV, what you get in benefit. This is you have to benefit. I believe that this time, if you stay 1 month at home and you are practicing your English or you making another research, if you don't interest in English, there is many things. You want to learn about laptop? Yes. Many people say before, I don't have time to know, to learn about laptop. Now you have time. You can use this time and get your benefits on that. You want to learn English? 1 week you stay, you have more than how many hours? So these hours can come back again. So use them
Okay.
for your own benefits. So thank you, Kenny.
I surely agree. Thank you for your sharing. I would like to invite a person from a country that is reportedly heavily affected by the coronavirus, Miss Coach Neludza from France. Can you share us your information about the coronavirus in your country right now?
Well, to be honest, I cannot share the information because I don't know the information. Maybe sound, crazy, but I'm not watching news. I know we need to complete a paper when we need to go outside, okay, if we want to buy food or something like that. But I don't know how many cases we have because I'm not watching news. I'm doing other beautiful things in this time, okay? So, for example, I'm improving myself. I don't say I'm improving English or I'm improving my Spanish or my Italian. No, I'm improving myself. That means I'm just listening and I'm reading, the things which makes me happy right now. And I think and I believe coronavirus, as teacher John said in one of our Zoom meeting, is a blessing. Why is a blessing? Because before people didn't have time to spend with each other, they didn't have time for wife, for husband, for children, for himself or for herself. They never had time. No. Always they were busy. Now you have time. Now what reason you have? Well, yeah. People before didn't want, to tell themselves or to talk with others and to tell them that I love you. Now probably they are telling them I love you. Now maybe they want to hug each other, but they cannot. Now you can realize how important it is to can hug someone, how important it is to be alive, how important it is to be grateful for what you have, how important it is to go outside free without to have that kind of paper with you always. Yeah, maybe before you were not aware of these things, but we need to be grateful for what we have. So now it's time to look back and to see how important is life. Yeah.
Mhm. I
And
do
what
think so. And speaking about love between humans, I've heard so many rumors or even some tales or stories about the discrimination between the exchange student or international student from Asian country in France. And what is your opinion on that? What is your take on that?
Well, I don't know what to tell you, but I tell you what I feel, from myself. That yeah, somehow people are cold in France, but coronavirus is a good medicine also for them and also for us. You know, I'm not saying only for French people. Coronavirus is a good pill for humanity. To not be any more racist with each other, and to think that you are not more good than I am, because we are all equal. Okay, we are all equal in front of God. So it doesn't matter what's your nationality, where are you from, or what are you doing in this life. We are all equal, and we need to help each other and to love each other as we are. So this kind of things, to be racist, to look you with different eyes because I have money, you don't have money, I think is a good way now how Corona is doing, because people need to realize that actually you are unique, okay, and you have just one life, and money cannot change you, because money are not important now, really are not important. The
But
most important things is love, and respect to each other. That's all.
okay, thank you. But on the contrary, some people are assuming that everyone who has the yellow skin or is Asian blooded, they are the container of the coronavirus. Some just mm, like prejudicially things or assume that like people who see Asians on the subway or on the train, they would immediately I'm just addressing some. They would um, immediately address them as the carrier of the virus, and I think that if the coronavirus does bring people together, I think it should be like entirely bring all people together, not like dissecting.
Yeah, but I said this coronavirus is good for everyone. It's good even for me, because I needed to learn many things, and I was thinking that I know, but actually I didn't know. So look, coronavirus is a good medicine for me. I admire these things. I'm not saying only about others. I'm talking about myself also. Because um, now I appreciate life more than before. For example, now it's really frustrating me when I need to write that paper each day when I want to go to buy bread, And before I didn't realize how much important it is and how amazing it is to can go outside without to complete a paper. So really, these things really make me to appreciate life more than before, even if I'm a coach. Yes.
Wow, thank
Doesn't
you.
mean that I know everything. No,
Oh,
I'm
thank
human
you.
also.
Your words are
I
always
think
very inspiring and beautiful. Oh yes, Teacher Grant. I see your hands raising.
hey, yeah, I just got into the end of your conversation,
Yeah.
but I feel like I got the gist of it. I feel like Coach is basically saying, and I understand where she's coming from. She's saying that it's bringing people closer together, but the way I think you mean, Coach, is that it's not exactly it's not exactly how you're, hold on, I can't think of the right words. It's not exactly that statement. It's bringing people closer together, but not in the way that media would bring it out to be. It's not like, oh yeah, everybody's sick and this is now going to bring people closer together. It's just kind of making people have a reality check. It's a reality check for everyone. As Coach Bay said, hey, I know how important it is that you can actually go out and buy bread. I mean, it's unfortunate that this is what it's taking to bring the country closer together. And then I got your conversation, Kenny, already caught. I'm going to tell you right now, stop watching the media. I guess anywhere in the world, people are like, Asian people this, Asian people that, Asian people this. Don't believe that crap, okay? Don't believe the fuck. There's no kids here. Are there any kids here?
Yes, there are kids.
Yeah, we have one.
I think they are kids. But I think kids now, they are familiar with bad words.
No. When I mean kids, I mean like Jackie's not here, is she? I gotta be careful.
Yes, there are kids on this.
Okay.
You mean small kids? They are.
Myself. I gotta censor myself. So thank you for. If any time I start to go off and I don't realize I'm not paying attention, please say kids. I have a teacher persona and I have a I guess a professor persona. But don't believe the media. Okay, the media's job is to scare you. The media's job is to say, hey, people like, I'm not saying like you, Kenny, I'm just saying, just making an example. People like Kenny are going to believe anything we say. Therefore, anything we say is going to listen to us. Or it may not be Kenny, it may be your next door neighbor, it may be your elderly neighbor, you know. So like, don't believe what the media is saying. Now, sadly, yes, discrimination is happening of Asian descent, you know. I've seen videos. It's actually quite sad. And I'm also going to give going to go slightly off on a tangent, so forgive me. But in Asia and in China, it's a very racist country. I'm going to explain why, okay? And Coach, your eyes are going to grow 5 times as big as they are now when I say this. When they advertise for a teacher, they say, we want a white face teacher. They believe anyone from Africa has a disease. This is the mind frame that China is implementing in our children and in the children's mind. Mostly, as I've seen secondhand through China. Now, for like Toto, I don't know how it is in Vietnam. I don't think that country has the same kind of persona or the same kind of messages they're giving out to teachers and stuff. I don't believe they say we want a white teacher, you know. So it kind of does sicken me that it's kind of like an eye-opener to everyone in this world of what's going on, you know. And the kids who are here today, the children who are in this group, who are listening to this, they are experiencing this secondhand. They're witnessing how horrible the adults are in society. And it sickens me. It really does. I'm embarrassed. You know, like, I put myself in a reputation that I want to give this world a good image. And because of this epidemic, because of what's happened, it's turned into a catastrophe. And as Coach has said, yes, it is kind of a blessing in disguise because it is kind of a wake-up call. And hopefully, we are able to kind of come together and see everyone's point of view and say, ah, okay. And hopefully by seeing everyone's point of view will actually be what brings us closer together. So I'll pause at that to let others chime in. Or coach can not counter, but can, what I'm looking for, can comment off what I said.
Okay, thank you, Teacher Grant. I do see your point, and I think I agree. But what I mean is that because of the coronavirus, that the discrimination towards Asian is becoming popular. Like, it's since the coronavirus that they be like discriminated, and not that they are discriminated before, but like ever since the corona. But I do thank you for your sharing. So I'll move to another person. Sorry. What about teacher Alexandra Park? Can you share about the coronavirus situation in Russia?
Yeah,
I
right
heard that Russia
now,
done a great job with
yeah,
controlling the pandemic.
in this case, we're so lucky because right now we have 840 cases because
Wow.
our president closed the border between different countries, and right now all flights are canceled to different countries. And in my opinion, this situation is good because we can close to each other. We can forget about the war and about everything bad which we had in the past. And sometimes it's quite difficult to understand what was the reason for that, because maybe financial situation or just something like that. But some people cannot realize it. And for instance, yesterday I watched the news about the coronavirus in Russia, and some young people are not serious about it. They keep going outside in the shop center for stuff like that. And some people go out in the park, and they don't worry about that. Russia doesn't panic like Europe does right now. And I think we are able to change the situation, just stand home and be careful, because we don't know how it's dangerous in the future. Because we have no ideas how to protect people if we don't care about ourselves. Just my personal opinion about it, because when I was watching the news about the young generation, how they think of the situation, and if we compare to Europe, it's totally different. And Russian people, not don't panic. They live as usual. And yesterday I watched the video message from our president on TV. It was about the situation and how we can protect ourselves, just staying at home right now. And next week, we're not going to work. Next week.
Yes. Okay. And are there any death reported? Like, what is the mortality rate in your country?
Right now, 2 people died in Moscow because the center of coronavirus is in Moscow, because it's the capital of Russia. And right now, I'm watching the program about the coronavirus. They are talking about the situation because we are able to watch the news about the coronavirus. But for me, it's like, why people talk too much about the situation? Maybe they want us to protect ourselves, and exactly I don't know the reason. But some people cannot realize how it's dangerous, how it can be cross in the future, how we can fail it in this case, in this situation. Unfortunately, right now, people don't know how to protect themselves, especially in Russia, because we can buy the mask in the pharmacy. We and our ship centers are still working, and I think it will be like maybe tomorrow it will be closed. Universities and schools are closed right now, but people work as usual. We don't have a quarantine, quarantine here in Russia, mostly.
I think in every country, people like adults, they're still working. Just students and small children are off from school and universities. I think so.
Our students are studying online right now. Most of them.
Yeah, yeah. In my country,
At
it's the same.
But when I saw some young people, some young generation who are walking outside without the mask, and they don't worry about the situation, about the coronavirus. And when I was watching the news, when some people asked them about why they are going outside without wearing the mask, they just told them us, we don't care about it. It's just like a holiday for us.
Thank you for your updates. Now I know a bit more about the Russian situation on the coronavirus. But now I really want to hear some perspectives from an elderly individual, because I want to know how 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 aware they are with the fact that coronavirus mostly affect the elderly people. So I will invite Miss Terry. Yeah, Mrs. Terry, can you tell me some things about the coronavirus and how it affects people of your age, and how do you protect yourself? How, oh, you can talk. Oh, that's fine. Uh, oh, Rissa.
One lesson, Kenny.
No, not Rissa.
Never talk to a lady about their age.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's a secret.
yeah, but like it's.
Thank you for saying that, Andy. You took the words out of my mouth.
Yes.
But here's
You have any questions
your
for me?
answer, Kenny. What they're saying right now is that those people who are of 80 or above, 30% of the people that are dying are 80 and above. But then if you really think about that, that means how much percentage is 80 and below that is dying from this? 70%. So once again, kind of a media kind of thing to kind of distract us from what's reality is, saying, oh, well, 30% of the people that are dying are 80 and above. Well, then stop and think about percentages And that's a very small percentage compared to 70% 80 and below. So it really isn't, it's the reason that you know, older people are having more issues and are dying is because their immune system isn't quite as powerful as some people's. But this is affecting everyone. So you know, when we talk about the older generation is being affected a lot, but the other generations are being affected as well. And that's the problem, is everyone thinks, well, I'm just going to go hang out outside with my friends because I'm not going to get anything. That's not a very smart way to look at it.
Speaking of hanging outside, can I ask, do people in USA like wear masks? Like, I want to ask all the Western people here, how do you feel when you have to wear masks more regularly nowadays when the coronavirus? I want to ask every Western people.
Some people are, not all people, you know, are wearing masks, because most people have been told that the masks really don't help that much unless you actually have it. It's not very good at fighting against it. And right now, with just the shortage of supplies, people are saying, you know, leave the mask for those who are working in the medical fields. And, you know, this whole social distancing, like stay away from people. That is what everybody's being told, but some people don't listen. You know, sometimes, you know, people need to start listening. And I think that this is a very good lesson for people to understand that we as a people think that we are invincible and that we can do whatever we want. And sometimes that's not really the reality. But very few people I see with masks. Lennox doesn't have a mask.
I mean, to be honest, I still think a lot of people don't know like how to keep themselves safe. And forgive me if this is just a Western view, and I don't know if I'm wrong or right to say what I'm gonna say. I promise it's clean. But when I see people say, drink warm water every 15 minutes to prevent yourself from getting sick, that to me just shows that they're uneducated, and that's not going to prevent from getting the coronavirus. I was translating something, and they said, oh, if a child has a fever or whatever, this fever, they'll send them home, or this is happening, or do this. All the children are going to have water every 15 minutes. But to me, all water is going to do is, it's not going to, there's so much more that needs to be prevented from drinking. They need to wash their hands every 15 minutes of that, you know. Washing hands should be more of a priority than telling them to drink warm water. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there is science to back up that drinking hot water will cure a coronavirus from getting to the child or to the teacher.
No, not actually. I think that the warm, it keeps your throat's temperature in a stable level.
Or something.
But I don't think like drinking constantly every 15 minutes is great, because that is just a hoax.
But it seems to be, and forgive me if I'm wrong, Kenny, it seems to be an Asian thing. And if I'm wrong, forgive me. But it seems to be like the go-to thing. Like, if you're sick, drink warm water and you'll be better. You know, that, I got a headache, drink warm water. Oh, I'm throwing up, drink warm water. Or not warm water, hot water.